Greetings and welcome, everybody, to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me, the warden for the USO Penitentiary, good old JB.
Sitting to my left, he is our little puff pastry, Mr. Fluffy.
Oh, he's so cute.
And sitting in front of me, the man that dresses up every year at Halloween as Yerple the Clown, Irish.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, come on. It was Raw related.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least I wasn't the big, fat, greasy guy.
I could have called the gobbledygook, or I thought the Yerple was better.
That's pretty good. We're celebrating 25 years of Raw.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're listening to this on Monday, tonight is the big mega show, the double show. Raw is going to be taking over New York.
Yeah,
and it's going to be amazing.
New York and Brooklyn.
So we've got a lot of things we're going to share about, memories of Raw, things that stand out to us. We're going to talk about a lot of, some of the history of Raw, some things that we love, some things that we miss, people that we miss, and moments that are important to us.
Yep.
And we have a pretty great beer that we're
That's
sharing
right.
too. So we're going to get into that and so much more when we come right back. This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
With your host, Mr. Fluffy.
Hello, ladies.
Good old JB.
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
And the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Raw is war. What are we drinking?
We are drinking from Infinity Ale Works. It's a local beer from Ocala, Florida. Ocala. We are drinking the West Floridian Belgian Abbey style quad ale. That's a lot to say.
That explains it. I forgot. It's a Belgian quad.
It's a Belgian quad.
Woo, girl. It's good.
It's boozy.
It's not your granddaddy's beer.
No. And it's the right temperature. I like my quads a little warmer. So it was in the fridge for less than about an hour, which is perfect. You want to chill on it, but you don't want it cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like my quad's in the bottle.
It's 10%.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't like them at all.
I got my quads
Stay in the bottle and they're good.
I got my quads in the bottle. Got my
Stay
quads
your
in the
ass
bottle.
in the bottle. No, I'm kidding.
It's good though.
That's where Triple H keeps his quads.
Yeah.
Well, that and on the shelf.
When he's not breaking them.
When he's not blowing them out. Oh God, I still remember that moment.
I do too. That was horrible. They just showed that on.
It wasn't
It was stupid. He was climbing into the ring.
Well, no. Are you talking about Triple H? Or are you talking about
Triple
McMahon?
H. Are you talking about Vince McMahon when he blew out his
Vince
quad?
when he blew his. But no, I'm talking about the worst part.
I
Triple
forgot
H is-
about his. Vince
Yeah,
was,
when
He
he's
was climbing in the ring and he blew both of them at the same time.
I
So
don't
he's
even
literally just
remember
sitting
that.
there.
Yeah, he's laying there in the ring, sitting there. The worst part about the Triple H one, though, is the fact that we knew he blew it.
Yeah.
And now when you watch it back, you know when he blew it.
Yeah.
And then he gets put in the walls of Jericho.
I was
and
like,
you're
you're
just
a-
like, oh, you're just a man. I'm
you-
like, I'm sorry. And Jericho was talking about this podcast. I know this is completely off subject as normal. He even said to Triple H, are you sure? But that was a planned spot. And he goes, are you sure? He goes, yeah, do it. And he's like,
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, because they all knew it was going to be the most painful thing in the world to have your legs put behind your ears when you have no muscle left.
yeah.
All right, so we're talking about Raw and SmackDowns. Oh no, Raw.
No, just Raw.
Yeah.
Holy.
What's in that
To be
quad?
fair, whoa. To be fair, Fluffy just came back from a funeral. He's operating on very little sleep.
Yeah, so we're
just-
talking
and
about
a
Raw
lot of
25th.
beer.
Yeah, we're talking about. Yeah, that's right.
We're just talking about Raw, buddy.
about Raw, 25th
anniversary.
So we're talking about the big celebration. But if there was no Raw, there'd be no SmackDown.
That is true.
It is true. So there we go. Because Raw has become their flagship show. It is
The Juggernaut.
a juggernaut. You know, it debuted back in, oh God, when is the first episode? See, this is what happens.
25 years ago.
93, wasn't it?
93. In January, it came out.
Do math.
It was, I remember the show that pre-ran it, which was the old Primetime Wrestling on USA.
Yep.
And then for a while, it was a talk show kind of thing.
Yeah, and I kind of like that. It was great for what it was.
And then it became...
Because Saturday Night Wrestling, Superstars was actually the big show.
Yeah.
That was Sunday morning for me.
Superstars and Challenge.
Yep.
Those are the two big ones.
Yeah, Superstars.
And Challenge was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because that was the one with Gorilla and Bobby doing commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's why I love that one. But, you know, and that was, you know, Raw sort of started changing it when it went to a more of a weekly show focused.
Mm-hmm. From the Hammerstein Ballroom.
That's right. They were there for a while. So, but, you know, this is their big celebration. They're excited. It is the longest running episodic TV show in history.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long time. They got a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
You know, they are pulling out all those stuff. I do like the fact that they're doing it from two locations. They're doing it from the Manhattan Center, from the Hammerstein Ballroom is part of it, and then part of it's from the Barclays Center. And you know the whole roster is going to be there. The SmackDown guys are going to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody's showing up for this. This is going to be crazy. The first thing I want to talk about is they've got an impressive little list of legends that are coming. So I'm going to go over some of them, and then we can talk about the ones that maybe should be on here that aren't, that maybe don't have the best relationship with the company.
Let's talk about that.
So, you know, right off the bat, we've got two huge ones. We've got Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker.
Taker's coming?
Taker's coming. He's been advertised several times, so he's coming.
Wow.
So,
is he going to come out in Taker garb, or is he going to come out as Mark Callis?
They've advertised him as Taker, and I'm assuming this is Taker coming out and then announcing that he's going in the Rumble.
One more ride.
I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
I need my gear back.
Yeah, have some poor boy in the back go get it. Maybe it's the same guy who has the cake as his gear.
Jeez, God. Oh, jeez. I don't think so. I think that I don't think Taker's going to be riding anymore.
Then we also have a D-Generation
not,
X
actually.
reunion.
For the 20th time.
Yep.
For the millions of
Can
attendance.
never get enough of that one.
And the 20th time.
But it's only good. But the DX reunion is only being listed as Shawn and Triple H. So basically, Shawn just
the original.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because the New Age Outlaws are listed separately.
Yeah.
So it literally is just those two. And I don't see
Maybe.
Xbox on here
They
at all.
may
I don't think so. I mean, they're all DX.
Yeah, but New
Is
Age
Sean on the list?
Yeah.
No.
X-Pac?
No.
Oh, no, yeah, he's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. It just lists DX.
Damn.
And all the footage they've shown from the DX
Just the
promotion
two of them.
is just the two of them.
New Age Outlaws on the list?
They're on separately.
They're listed as New Age Outlaws.
They're new, yeah, I'm saying. But they're not being listed as DX.
I
Who knows?
understand.
Who knows where they're going to go?
They're going
with
to come
it,
out
though.
with them, but I'm saying it's
Yeah.
interesting how they're doing it. Apparently, we're getting Jim Ross and the King back together again.
Hells yeah.
So I'm assuming
Gotta have that.
I'm assuming they're going to do commentary for the matches at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Ballroom.
That's
Yeah.
what my assumption is. They're going to be there.
Yeah.
The Dudley Boys are coming back.
Good for
Well,
them.
I mean, they were just there, so it's not really a big shocker.
One of them never left, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see him every so often.
Yeah.
I love when I see Devon.
Devon in a suit.
Him and Arn are
What's up, Deacon?
Him and Arn are the things I look
exactly.
for now. When they're in backstage segments, I don't want to see
Yeah.
him and Arn. Those are the only two people I
Yeah.
want to see.
I want to see Dean Malenka. I always love seeing Dean.
Ric Flair.
Good.
Woo! This will be his first major appearance since the health scare, won't it?
No, he was on SmackDown when Charlotte won.
Oh,
the
that's
title.
right.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
was- he came
Right.
out
So
and
he
cried.
came hobbling down.
Yeah.
But interesting to see how they bring him out and what he says, and you know if he comes out by himself or he comes out with Charlotte, and because I'm sure Charlotte will be there.
Eat your vitamins. Stay away from the alcohol and the drugs, kids. Woo! Don't be like
And the
me.
10,000 women.
We got Scott Hall coming out.
Hey,
He's
yo.
listed as Scott Hall, not Razor Ramon.
Hey, yo.
Now my list is Kevin Nash, but you heard news that
Yeah,
he's
I
not
just
coming.
came across a wire that Kevin Nash will not be attending. He had a full knee replacement, and the tweet from him said that because of the downsized planes, he can't get on a bigger plane and stretch out. Apparently, he's not going to buy.
They can't give him a private plane.
Apparently, he either can't fly a private plane or he can't afford a business or first class ticket.
Apparently not. Dig it.
Dig it.
And one that I'm kind of surprised with is Bischoff's going to show up.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Doesn't
Why
surprise
not?
me.
Why would it shock you? He didn't leave on bad terms, did he?
He must be promoting something.
I've got a new book.
yeah.
Yeah. We already said the New Age Outlaws are going to be there. That'll be.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah. And Jericho's going to show up fresh off his
That's
Wrestle Kingdom 12.
I'll tell you,
Performance?
Jericho and JR are the two that make no sense to me. I mean, yes, they're legends. Yes, they should be there. But Jericho literally just came off of Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan, and JR calls the Wrestle Kingdom matches. I'm shocked at how.
There's no, I mean, you got to have them on that.
I understand. I don't.
Have them and them actually showing up. I was surprised too when Jericho officially
But he's going to
announced.
be in the Rumble probably. Jericho.
Jericho?
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think so.
Possibly.
I think he's got a deal going on with Naito over. in
Oh,
New
well,
Japan.
yeah, he may.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have JBL coming directly from Bermuda,
Kicking out in 3.
kicking it out. He's going to be there. I'm assuming he'll come out in full JBL suit,
Oh, yeah.
you know, hat and horns and, you know,
Maybe he's grown his hair out and he's dyed it black.
stock market. Well, that's the thing. Now, that's the other thing is I'm wondering if it might be APA because Ron Simmons is there too.
Damn.
So we see the APA come back.
Oh, that'd be
instead
cool.
of, I would like to see that instead
Just
of
have him
JBL.
do a backstage segment, drinking beer and stuff.
Oh, just playing poker.
Yeah, playing poker. That's all I really need. I could care less about.
Actually, if you were going to do that, the next 3 people they have on this list, I would like to see this is the 5 some playing poker. So you got the Godfather,
Yeah.
Brother Love,
Brother Love.
Brother Love.
Oh my God.
and the Boogeyman. Who doesn't want to see the Boogeyman playing poker?
I don't want to see the Boogeyman ever. Why is the Boogeyman on this show? He's not a legend.
He's just the Boogeyman.
And he's coming to get ya. There's no reason for him to be on this show. That is
One of many failed gimmicks.
that is tantamount to having, James Ellsworth is a legend.
Oh, no, he's on here list. No, I'm only kidding.
Don't make me not watch his
Exactly.
show.
No, but I agree with you. Okay, so they're going to bring back Brother Love. So obviously they're going to paint him red and stick him in the suit.
So that means
yeah.
there's going to be a new set of toys coming out. The 25th Anniversary Legend series.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Now, what I would like to see is, if you really want to have fun with it, is you have Brother Love come out with the Taker.
He probably will have a segment.
Because
He may even do his little show.
you know
he
that
used to
was
do.
that was his original. He was with
Yeah.
Taker for a while.
What was his?
Beginning.
What was this name of his show? Did he have? It was
the Brother Love show?
no.
I
it
can't
wasn't.
remember.
I think he just did Piper's Pit. at one point.
No, but he had the whole red suit and he had the whole.
Well, it
thing.
wasn't the Brother Love show though. What was
But
it?
I love you.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah.
People hated him. Teddy Long,
Teddy La holla holla holla.
which means he's going to make a tag team match. I guarantee you. That's how they'll use him. He'll come out at some point during Raw and go, "We're going to have a tag team match."
Yeah. How many more wrestlers can you get on the show?
Yeah, you know that's
Do a
what's going to
tag
happen.
match.
One I'm excited about. The $1 Million Man's coming back.
Really? That'd be cool.
I'm really excited about that.
Is Ted coming?
Ted?
DiBiase?
No, he's totally separated himself from.
I know. I was just being
Yeah,
funny.
he's
no.
done.
But I'm excited about seeing the $1 Million Man. That'll be fun to watch him come out and do the whole laugh and everything. Like he was always one of my favorites. Oh, power of the people, John Laurinaitis.
He's married to a Bella.
Okay.
He'll always have standing.
He's Bella
He's married
adjacent.
to Mama
I know.
Bella.
He's Bella adjacent.
I'm
He's
so
very-
happy to be here. Welcome to WWE Raw.
We're gonna see Sergeant Slaughter, which means he's gonna shove himself in his tights.
Just wear a coat, man. Just wear the hat and the
Oh.
glasses. That's all you need.
That's no. I'm worried he's gonna come out in his full tights.
I'm hoping he takes his shirt off and
Maggots.
wants to wrestle a match.
Maggots.
I got maggots in my tights.
I got maggots in my tights. Oh, him and the Boogeyman could have that conversation.
Coming to get you.
I'm coming to eat maggots. The Bella Twins are going to show up.
Good.
Shocker.
I expect them to announce they're in the Rumble.
The little ladies.
One of them will.
I think both
Both.
of them are.
No.
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bree's been
Bree's
training
ready to
for
come back,
forever.
and Nikki supposedly is.
Well, I don't know if her neck is.
Nikki
cleared
may not
yet,
be, but
no.
Bree
Yeah.
ready to come back. She said she wants
Yeah.
to come back, and if
Yay.
this is the moment, I can
Okay,
see them.
let's do it.
And if you're gonna bring
Hey.
Nikki back, even if you're gonna bring
Don't
Nikki
hate on my
for,
Bellas.
if you're gonna bring Nikki back for one match, this is the match you do it in because you can easily
Hide her.
You can hide her and protect her at the same time, but she can have an easy throw over, and you don't have to worry.
I don't
about
think. I don't think they'll both come back at the same time because it'll take away from the other one's shine.
But I can see Brie
Oh,
announcing.
that never
Yeah.
stopped him before.
But I totally see
Well,
Brie
yeah, I
announcing
don't-
she's in the Rumble.
Yay.
Oh, Jacqueline.
I saw
Jackie.
Jacqueline's coming back.
Jackie's coming back.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. Yeah.
Yeah. And what could be a very awkward moment for some people, Terry Reynolds is going to be there.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gold Dust, hide.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is I'm like,
Oh, I'm sure they've gotten their stuff squared away.
Yeah, she's like they're good co-parenting.
And then we have
he's off the drugs. He's
the
good.
list I have. We have 4 women, or actually, divas. I'll say it. They were divas. Tori Wilson's coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very excited about that.
Yep.
Maria Kanellis is listed. Why is Maria Kanellis listed?
Well, she's on the roster.
Exactly. Why is she listed as a Legends coming back if she's on the damn
She just
roster?
had a baby.
All right.
She hadn't had it yet, has she?
I think she had it.
I thought she already had it.
I think she may be close.
Let's
'cause I
take
just
to Twitter.
saw a
All
picture.
right. Michelle McCool.
Well, if Taker's going to be there,
Yeah, of course she's going to be there.
Yeah.
Might as
And
well
then
grab
Kelly.
She's been angling for a comeback for.
I saw she
for
was
Kelly
coming
Kelly's?
back.
Yeah.
I think Kelly's going to be in the Rumble
They
too.
showed-
She looks totally different now.
They
Have you
showed
seen a
footage of
picture
her this week, and I'm like,
She's good friends with Maurice.
Yeah.
I miss Eve Torres. She was pretty good back in that era.
Well, okay, so we're talking about people that aren't on this list. There's no Lita,
She's with the company already.
but still, okay, Maria Kanellis is with the company too, and so is Devon. So that's what I'm saying. She's on the list.
Right. Beth Phoenix isn't.
Beth Phoenix. Trish Stratus isn't on here. I'm surprised.
Oh, that was the end of the Legends?
Yeah.
Edge isn't on the list?
They may have some
Edge is not on the
surprises that
list.
aren't listed.
This is the list I have. This is the list so far that's been announced.
Hulk Hogan's not on the list?
Trish got
Nope,
it.
because Hogan's not coming back.
I'm surprised Trish isn't. And Hulk was in. I think there's going to be some surprises that aren't listed.
But yeah.
Molly Holly's not on the list?
Nope.
Molly Holly.
Nope.
Molly Holly.
I'm trying to think of other people. Obviously, like Ray's not coming back for that.
True.
As much as you'd like to see it.
The Rock.
The Rock's not on this list.
He'll show up.
I think he'll do a video.
Stone Cold's not on the list?
No, he's
on there.
Okay.
We said
Yeah.
first. No,
The Rock will be there.
I think The Rock will do a video.
Yeah.
Because The Rock's probably out filming some movie, so he'll do some video about
Nah.
it.
He's
got
got
to
to be
do
there.
it.
Rock
There's
will
no-
fly in and do the Madison Square Garden one. You won't
Yeah,
go to the
he would-
little
he
show.
would
No,
have
he's not
to.
doing Madison Square Garden. They're doing the Brooklyn Center, Barclay.
Barclays.
Is the whole show going to be at Barclays Center?
Half at Barclay, or part at Barclay and part at the Manhattan, the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's a split show.
Okay. I
They're
thought
having
they were doing the Garden in Hammerstein.
No.
No, I think it's the
The
Barclays.
Barclays,
It's the
so he'll go to
Barclays.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, but The Rock's not on there. It's funny. It's an interesting list though. They got a lot, and I agree with you. We talked about it on the main show, from on Thursday's show. Is this show will probably wrestling wise suck because it's going to be a lot
All
of segments.
segments,
It's
yeah.
all segments.
Can't be any worse than the last one.
The only match we really know of is Roman Reigns versus The Miz, and we assume this is Roman Reigns.
Say it
I
right.
will lose my belt. And the only reason this match is going on is so he can lose the belt in some screwy way and then throw himself into the Rumble, because the minute he loses, next week he'll go, I'm in the Rumble now.
I didn't want the Intercontinental title anyway.
I want to main event WrestleMania again.
I've triple crowned. Now it's time for me to get my belt back.
You're crowning? What? Wait, what?
He triple crowned.
I know. But it's going to be an interesting. There's no Sting on here.
That's not a.
I know it's not shocker,
I don't
but
blame
I mean,
him.
I'm just saying there's no Sting.
Well, here's the thing for me. Their Monday Night Raw was great, but what made Monday Night Raw better was Nitro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're gonna have Bischoff,
Yeah.
you better have Sting.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have Goldberg, because Goldberg is gonna come out. Because
Possibly.
I don't see why he
possibly.
wouldn't.
But-
He's a legend. He's going in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, but it's an interesting little list. I want to see how they're going to use them.
Cody Rhodes coming back.
No,
Quarter to never.
no.
He's not.
So my question is this: for the legends, are they just going to bring them out? Are they all going to be in segments?
They'll all have-
Or are
they'll
they
have
gonna
their segments.
Is this going to be? That's what I'm trying to figure out where we're going to go.
Monday night's 25th anniversary will be Catchphrase City.
Oh, yeah.
They should print T-shirts with
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
catchphrases.
Oh,
in the
I'm
back.
sure they will. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I love seeing the legends.
Interact with some of the newer talent.
Yeah, I don't like seeing the legends wrestle
No.
because they always give them the win,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it really is
Like
blatant.
the APA may beat the Revival.
Yeah,
Oh,
if they
See,
do
no.
that.
I could see that match happening.
No.
I could see
no,
see it because they
no.
mentioned the legends Monday in their interview.
Yeah, that's true.
I
they
can
did.
see them wrestling an old
Okay,
tag team
there's
and
one.
losing.
Arn's not on here, and he's with the company, but
Truth.
he's not on there. Arn should come out.
Arn actually, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. What other horsemen are still around? Dean.
Tully.
Tully Blanchard's
Is
still
Tully
around.
with the company?
He's
I
not
don't think
with
he's with the company, but I'm sure
You know,
they can
some
dig
of
him
the,
up somewhere.
some of the 4 horsemen that's still around ought to come out and pass the torch to
who?
to Dash and Wilder.
Oh, they could do that.
That would be friggin' awesome.
Yeah, but
You know.
there's some. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm. It's the kind of episode where I'm not overly excited about it, but I want to see what's going to go.
Sure,
I'm
absolutely.
excited about it because it's a good change of pace. I mean, it's not like they're giving us 5-star matches on these shows weekly. So why would we not be excited for something different?
Well, and here's the thing: it's wrestling entertainment. We've seen wrestling. Now it's time for some pure entertainment.
Yeah, I mean,
But I wish they would-
it's a welcome change of pace for
Okay,
me.
then if that's the case, then I would rather have them book. Don't have any matches at all. Then
right.
I
They're
know
basically
three-
not going to.
Well, I know. So far, we have one. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do that, then just make it one long celebration. They don't need to use the Barclays Center. They could have just done the Hammerstein Ballroom
Mick Foley.
and just had. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Mick Foley's not on here. That's a good one too. Yeah.
Thanks, some our week. You're right. They should just do pure show. But the problem is the timing.
It's the week before the
It's
Rumble.
the week before
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. The worst idea on the planet. I don't know who had the idea.
They wanted to have it the same week.
Yeah.
I have it the same week. You're the one planning the dates, WWE.
Well, they could have done this as well. That's the thing is they could have done this as a network special too. They could have had a network special to the same night or but
it's USA Network. Could have had a special on USA Network Sunday night.
Yep.
so. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how they use the legend. So, all right. So let's talk about some of the top. So I've got the top 25 moments from Raw. I'm going to kind of cherry pick and get your comments on some of the moments.
All right.
One of the ones at the very bottom of the list, which I think this should be higher anyways, is when the 1-2-3 Kid upset Razor Ramon. That was huge.
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh my God, that was massive. That's when he was the Lightning Kid.
1-2-3 Kid.
He was the Lightning Kid, and then he was
the
1-2-3
Lightning
Kid.
Yeah, after that,
and then he was
became the
X-Pac.
1-3, yeah,
and he was
that's
X-Pac, but he was the 1-2-3 Kid after he won. He was this scrawny little shit that beat Razor Ramon, and
still
Razor
is.
Razor was huge at that point.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
That was somebody who was doing the honors for a friend, and it worked out well. Kind of springboarded Xbox career.
Yeah.
You
talked about Nitro. I still vividly remember the night that Raw had Nitro and they bought the company.
Yes.
And Vince showing up on Nitro saying, "I've got the fate of W." No. When Vince was
Raw
earlier,
Vince.
and him going, "I've got the fate of WCW in my hands."
Remember, because
I mean the last show.
And then
Shane was there.
No, that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the last show. And then the last show, the very end of it was Shane coming up. But
Yeah.
before that, earlier, Vince kept popping up.
So I thought he was on the simulcast from the Raw show.
He was doing both. He kept showing up on Nitro doing the same thing, talking about how he's going to decide the fate of
and
Nitro.
Nitro still went an hour earlier.
Yeah. And then Shane showed up at the end when he said
But I mean,
the whole.
like Shane was there in Panama City Live.
Correct.
Yeah, but it wasn't until the very end, though. He didn't show
No,
up
I'm
until
saying
the
yeah,
last-
but Vince wasn't in Panama City.
No. He was
When
video
they-
in.
When
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
WCW
He was on the simulcast.
when
yeah.
WCW opened, the opening shot was Vince
Yeah,
McMahon.
I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't physically there live.
Oh no,
in
yeah,
Panama
no,
City.
he was in Raw.
Shane showing up in the WCW ring was the most impactful thing I can remember.
I also remember that line. That line was great. The name on the contract says McMahon, but it's a Shane McMahon. That was a great, that
I
moment.
agree.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
So let me push back a little bit because you guys were WWEF fans.
No, I was WCW.
I was sold out WCW. So the opening shot of Vince McMahon being on WCW radio
Was
or
huge.
TV, I remember standing in my butt. We used to get together every Monday night and watch Raw and Nitro.
too.
We'd flip back and forth.
Yep.
And I just remember standing there. I think we'd ordered Chinese, which was our custom. And I remember standing there, plate of food, and I was looking at the TV. And I was standing there, and I would look at him, and I would look at the TV, and I was like, things are never going to be the same.
It was sad.
This is
though.
the weirdest.
Yeah.
This is so wrong. I was not happy with the purchase, and
I
it was
wasn't either.
so wrong because this is crazy.
It was surreal
Yeah, very weird. Yeah,
it was
very
surreal.
ethereally weird. Yeah,
just to watch it, and then you were like, where do they even go?
Yeah.
from here,
And it
you
didn't
know?
go anywhere because then they screwed it up.
Just
Completely
just
screwed
like
it
in
up.
general, just like the whole industry is like, where do you go?
Right.
It's never been the same.
Yeah.
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 What I no one on the list is what I can think is one of the realest moments ever on wrestling TV. Period, and that was Edge's retirement. Like as much as Daniels was big, you watch Edge's.
That was heartbreaking.
And you just watch it heartbreaking. And I know, people, especially modern, newer fans will say, well, Daniel Bryan's the same way. No, there was something about that Edge one. Edge was, because that was a man who legitimately knew that it was over. And the pain in his face.
Well, that's the difference. Daniel thinks he can still wrestle.
Yeah, and
so he
Edge,
was forced to retire, quote unquote, retire. Edge knew he had no choice
it was so
but
sad.
to retire. So there was a different feel. It's like they made Daniel give that speech.
Right.
He was retired, but in his mind, he feels like he can still wrestle.
Yeah.
So he was never resigned to the fact that it was over.
Right.
Yep.
Whereas Edge was like, man, this came out of nowhere. Like, I'm never going to be able to wrestle again, and won't even entertain going anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the different.
Well, let me ask
emotions.
you guys this question: at the front end of that whole promo, did you think that was a work?
Edges, I did. Because he had done stuff like that before.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, this is fake.
And that was before I got into dirt sheets and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know
Right.
a lot of this stuff. So I would just kind of go with the flow as it came across.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was
you
like,
expect him to show back up again.
He's screwing with me,
Nope.
this, that, and the other. And
I expect there to be some kind of payoff at the end of the show. I'll tell you, there's two moments kind of connected, if I can throw them out. And
go ahead.
They revolve around the same wrestler. And the first one was the night after Eddie Guerrero died. And they bring the entire roster out.
Yep.
And I'll never forget Chris Benoit is standing there with the I Poppy t-shirt on, just
crying,
just losing it, just totally unable to compose himself.
Yeah.
And then you flash forward 2 years later, and then Chris Benoit is announced. This is before we knew what we now know. And I just remember the reason I remember is because I was getting a sleep study on the night that Benoit died, and Vince comes on. He says, we've lost one of our own. Chris Benoit's dead, and I just remember sitting there going, God, we lost Eddie. Now we've lost Chris.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah.
I started praying really hard for Chris Jericho, and apparently it worked out well.
Yeah.
Because that whole, the Radicals and Jericho were so tight.
Yeah.
That's one of those moments that just, Shuttle, JFK for people who are older, Shuttle, 9/11. For wrestling fans, Eddie Guerrero's death still.
I remember
Hart.
where I was.
Owen, God.
Owen.
I watched that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You talking about Guerrero? I remember Guerrero's. It was announced on a Sunday, and then Monday was the Raw.
Right.
And the reason I remember is I was at Universal going to a TNA pay per view that night.
Right.
When I used to go to those.
Right.
And that's when we found out Eddie died.
Yeah.
So another big moment that was funny is it's a moment that happened in 1998, then was repeated itself last year in a different way. Was when DX invaded WCW.
Too sweet.
When then,
One of the class.
Oops, too soon.
oh my God, that was a funny segment.
That was so amazing, surreal.
Yep.
Because you're watching it, going, they're really outside.
Oh, they were totally outside.
And I can't remember. They were like a state away, like North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, they were next to each other.
Yeah, and I was like in Georgia, and I'm like, if I left now, I could drive up and see these.
Yeah, it was hysterical. the whole when they drove the Jeep up with the cannon.
Oh yeah.
And they were banging on the door.
Oh my God!
Release our friends! Release our friends! Oh
so
my God! Until it wasn't funny anymore to WWE when the Bullet Club and Being the Elite did the same thing to them.
Yeah, I just what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
The problem is what happened for Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs paid the ultimate price for that, losing his job.
Well, he kind of orchestrated that, but we won't get into that.
Well, that's true.
A moment that, at the moment of history, didn't seem like that big, but changed the Monday Night Wars forever, was when Mankind won the title. It wasn't him winning the title.
Yeah, taped
It
shows,
was taped.
Yeah.
And on WCW Nitro, they said, "Oh, don't turn over to Raw. Mankind wins the title. Who wants to see that?" Apparently everybody, because everybody switched over and the rating went from Nitro to Raw completely.
Yeah.
And that was when it started to change, and that's when Raw started to win.
They picked the wrong guy to make fun of. Everybody loved Mankind.
Yeah, but I think it's funny that happened.
I remember the night that Rick Rude appeared on both shows
Yep.
in the same night.
Yep.
And I thought that was like, what? Wait a minute. Wasn't he just on Raw?
Yeah.
And then he shows up on Nitro Live.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of things.
Now, did either of you two guys watch Raw's first show?
Yeah. When Bobby Heenan tried to sneak in?
The whole Bobby Heenan skits were my favorite.
Yeah, he was trying to sneak in.
What were you going to say?
No, I said I did watch it. I don't remember much of the first show. But
that's all I remember is Bobby Heenan.
All the, I need to get in. Oh, my nephew's in there. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, it literally, if you think about it as a wrestling fan, it changed your Monday nights.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, it changed your routine for your, like, it went from Monday Night Football to I got to watch Raw or Nitro,
right.
wherever I am.
Yeah.
And like literally, like you said, we would gather, we would have parties, we had get-togethers.
We did.
And I'm in high school, so it was like, I can't be out on that. I'm going over to my buddy's house. We're watching until whatever it was, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it was 2 hours. It was actually controllable.
Yeah. We were all congregating together every Monday night. It was a get together.
Another big moment that happened recently, 2014, was the night the Shield destroyed itself. The night Seth Rollins, that has still had repercussions on the current roster. And that's why I bring it up, is because that moment still echoes through what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
When Triple H came out and went, well, you guys were plan A, and I always have a plan B.
Yeah,
and Seth turned on Dean and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
The fact they just got back together again, but apparently can't stay injury free long enough to stay together.
Killed that.
That has become sort of one of those modern tent poles.
Modern tent poles?
Yeah, not a tent pole. Another huge moment happened again in 99, because 99 was a good year for them, was the countdown clock and the Jericho.
Oh my God, Jericho's
debut. Probably the greatest debut ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he went against The Rock head to head, vocal
just
for
how
vocal.
just how he debuted with the clock and the countdown.
And it was weeks.
Yeah.
Because he just kept showing up randomly for weeks.
So good. It was, back then it was just like, wow, this is a really good, really good debut.
Yeah.
And wow, this guy really can hold his own with The Rock. Wow, he beat Stone Cold and The Rock to be the first unified champion.
Yep.
And then you start flashing forward, it's like, wow, this guy's got a great new gimmick. And wow, this guy's got this going on.
Still talking about
wow,
him.
He's got this really cool gimmick with KO. And holy crap, the Festival of Friendship.
Then he goes to Japan.
Holy
and has a killer
cow, he
match.
just goes to a great match with Kenny Omega. Totally revolutionizes wrestling.
Yep.
So does that, if you were to list your top five, his recent success and reinvention of himself, would that change where you rank him?
It would change where I rank him
based on his longevity and
I've always thought he's top 5.
How he's still performing at
I've always thought he's top 5
now.
because even when he was WCW, you knew he had something. And when he came to, I think he's top 5 because again, the longevity and the fact that he reinvented himself and he stayed trendy but not obnoxious. He's adjusted. He
never got stale.
Nope.
No, and that's the thing.
Hardest thing to do is to remain relevant and not have people get tired of your gimmick.
Yeah. Right. And to be able to reinvent and adjust and go from face to heel within the same character.
Yeah.
It's just, he truly does deserve the title of living legend.
And Raw is Jericho when he was on Raw.
Oh my gosh.
When he would come on Raw. Because when it was Raw as Nitro, it was funny. When it really was, when it was Raw as Jericho, he was
after he
legit.
debuted. Yeah.
It was totally legit because they took him in a new way.
Yeah. Totally cool.
Another big moment was the Occupy Raw. Daniel Bryan took over the entire ring and the entire arena. And that was a moment that, again, we knew was scripted, but it felt so real.
Yeah, it felt very organic.
Oh, my God.
Such a great moment. And I'll tell you, had he not been injured, could you imagine what Daniel Bryan would be doing today?
Oh, yeah. He'd be...
He's still one of the top 3 most popular people on the roster.
Absolutely.
And you know what they're doing with him, though? They're trying to bury him,
of course, and
make him heel before he leaves.
They're trying to make him as unappealing as possible because they're thinking he's probably going to go to New Japan or Ring of Honor.
They're going to make him heel and make people dislike him before he leaves.
Couple of things, couple of feuds. The feud between Stone Cold and Vince McMahon.
Yep.
The multiple
beer trucks.
I was getting ready to say,
that's the number one moment.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. The beer truck, but the the argument, the feud between a worker and their boss, the lengths at which both of them went to, and then you flip over and Stone Cold feuding with Kurt Angle, and then you have the milk truck. Those two very similar ideas, but man, it was just executed well.
Yeah,
it was so great. Those four individuals just had magic. When they were
the Mick Foley and the Rock pairing. Was
Rock and
legendary.
Sock.
The This Is Your Life
was
segment
on Raw,
right?
which I told you before. Like I researched, it was literally the highest rated segment in the history of Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another segment.
You mean it wasn't Edge and Lita?
No, in the section.
I know.
Wow, that was weird.
The last segment I want to talk about before we move on
Right.
was the CM Punk pipe bomb. Again, talk about a real moment. Again, we all know it was planned and we knew it was coming out of it after. We can look back now and see where it was coming. But him just sitting on the stage with the microphone looking directly into the camera and just saying what he wanted
Right.
and what we thought was amazing.
Peeling back the curtain. of
Peeling the
realism.
curtain, the whole "Hi, I'm a Heyman guy." Hi, Paul.
Right.
Hi, Cole Cabana. All that stuff.
Who
I mean,
they
it
don't
was-
like, who they can't stand each other now.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It was brilliant, and it did make Raw feel real. And it's something I feel like they're missing right now. Sometimes you don't have that moment.
Sure. Everything's got to be super scripted.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing about that is I think that was the beginning of this era of wrestling to where I think it was like the death knell for kayfabe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To hear him saying some of those things about Vince, I'm like, holy crap, he's really saying that.
Yeah.
And he started burying Triple H. I was like, holy crap, he's burying Triple H. Does he know that's not good for his health?
Yeah. So, well, the last thing we want to talk about real fast before we wrap it up a little bit is, Raw has been on for 25 years.
See,
It's 1,000 some episodes. I mean, it's been
Okay.
it's
a few.
crazy
Yeah.
how many
Been
are
around
on.
for about a minute.
So I was going to give you each a few moments to talk about what Raw is either meant to you or where you think Raw's placement is or where you think it stands. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I kind of touched on it before. It changed the way I viewed Monday nights. It was must-see TV.
Yep.
It kind of, there was a lull for a minute. WCW. I was a WCW guy growing up, and it kind of faded off when Bischoff took over and kind of ran it to the ground. So towards the end, I was looking for an alternative. Anyway,
Yeah.
the Monday Night Wars brought that. WWF had fallen off, and that was kind of the resurrection of their brand. But it just provided must-see TV. It made me fall in love with the product again, which has 25 years later,
Right.
it's still obviously still relevant. This podcast and this show is a spawn of Raw's success, basically. So I'd like to see them get back to that. We've discussed that, ad nauseum, but
Literally.
to sustain that for 25 years, obviously they're doing something. There's an audience there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it just changed the way that I viewed Monday nights and the product in general.
All right.
Absolutely.
Irish?
I think for me, coming from WCW and watching WWE or WWF and WWE going to Raw was it made Monday night a very special night, which is usually Monday's a rough day for a lot of people. So it was really great having Raw and Nitro there. Then when Nitro went away, it's great having Raw. But I think the thing for me is I always connected to the voices. When I think about WCW, when I think about World Championship Wrestling or Georgia Championship Wrestling, it's always Gordon Solie.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, the greatest ever is Gordon Solie.
Yep.
Ever. Nothing against Gorilla Monsoon, for he was great, but for me it was Gordon. And then listening to for me the King and JR, to listen to those guys back early in the Attitude Era before the King went totally crazy, and everything was about puppies and all that good stuff. But back when they were really truly calling matches and the King was a heel, and he was always playing the heel and JR was just trying to understand it before they started doing crazy stuff.
Huh?
Right.
Huh?
I know, right?
Huh? Never mind.
So, I think for me, that was just, especially during those years of my life, it was something solid.
Yeah.
Going through some rough patches. And so I'd be able to go there, hear my two favorite guys talking and watch some great wrestling, Stone Cold, Rock, Jericho, back in the day, Eddie Guerrero, all those great guys, these names that we put on these pedestal. I think it's something that was just ingrained and it was a connection point for me through a really tough time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're so, I can't speak for you specifically, guys, but that's why we're so passionate about it, because we know how great it could be, because it was great.
And it can be again.
I mean, I grew up on it.
Right.
Like, I'm a 40-year-old guy
Right,
now.
right.
I was in high school when it
Right.
started. But let me ask you both a quick question before you go, Fluffy. Do you think if they would have started the Raw in the PG era instead of starting through the Attitude Era, would have still be around today?
I think it needed that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll give you mine. And because this is the thing is my relationship with Raw technically started before Raw, because I used to watch, my major exposure to wrestling was watching primetime. I watched Challenge and Superstars, but it was primetime. And it was partly Gorilla and Bobby, but those are where I started watching it. So I was used to it. Usually on Tuesday nights and stuff like that. But USA was my place where I went to for wrestling.
Right.
So when Raw started, it pulled me in. And when Raw really first started, I admit I was still into wrestling, but not as much. And I admit my relationship with wrestling kind of faded for a while. And it was WCW and Nitro that kind of pulled me back in a little bit. But it was the Monday Night Wars that reignited my love for wrestling. And then when I realized that Nitro was starting to go down, I started watching more of the Raw stuff. I found my love again. And I would this way. As much as I complain about the show and I complain about what they do, and I complain about everything, I still end up watching the show every week. And even if we didn't do this podcast, I'd still watch. Like just something about it, and I do and love watching.
It's nostalgia.
Yeah,
even today it's still nostalgia.
Right.
It's
same reason why so many people love Walt Disney World, because there's a nostalgia to it, not because we like spending $125 a day.
Yeah, I mean, this way. This show is really. There's a reason on Tuesday mornings I get up at 5 a.m. to watch Raw before I go to work.
You're a true fan. I wouldn't get up at 5 a.m. for nothing.
No, that's what I do every month because I want to watch the show. And I'm thinking, even without this podcast, I would probably still do that. I would get up early so I could watch it because I enjoy what it is. And Raw especially is, Raw is Monday Night Football. Raw is, what it's that big moment. It's hockey on Wednesday nights. It's those moments that you look for.
It amazes, like when they say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't think I'd be sitting here talking about it had it not catered to me in the way that it did during that time.
Yeah,
like it was over the top, but it's what was, like you said, it was what was needed at the time.
Right.
The bra and panty matches,
Yep.
the crazy antics, all of that, like the DX crotch chops, blah, 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 like that. Like the DX, like we had our whole crew.
Yeah.
We all had DX shirts. Like we literally thought we were on the little DX faction running the
was,
streets. Like
it was crazy.
It was crazy.
And it's gone through so many evolutions. It went from the cartoon era.
Yeah.
Because when it first started, it still was the, Newcombs and the cartoony stuff. And, it evolved into the DX. And then it went to now it's the PG era. And now it's what it is now. And it's, it's constantly evolving. And there's a reason it's been on. This way, there's a reason it was on USA, went to TNN for a while, and then when it had the opportunity, went back to USA. Not because they moved it back to USA because they had to, because USA wanted it back. Yep. And once that contract, they wanted it back badly. So there's a reason for it to be there. So
I want you back.
I want you back. But yeah, I love it. So before we leave, I'd like to once again thank the Infinity Ale Works for your West Floridian Belgian Abbey style quad ale. I enjoyed that beer.
Yeah, it's good.
I've had it before. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You can't even spell raw.
I'm sorry. Make sure you head to vintagepressing.com. Vintagepressing.com, where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
Make sure you visit us over at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast, where you can find all of our social posts over there, some of our show stuff, all of our social stuff. You can hook up with us there. Also find us at beersandbodyslams.com, where you can find our show archives. You can find our great sponsors. And make sure you visit us over at YouTube. Type in your search box Beers and Body Slams podcast, and we'll pop up. You can watch the shows on there. Make sure you subscribe, because we're still bucking for that vanity URL.
You can download the Untapped app. You can find and search for wonderful beers throughout this great country of ours. You can follow what we're drinking. You can follow me at Good OLJB.
You can follow me at Mr. Fluffy, as I try to make my liver last 25 years.
And you can follow me as I come off the top rope like Randy Macho Man Savage with a flying elbow at the Irish O'Leary.
All right, so I got to say this.
Dig it.
Make sure you tune in Thursday, because we get to do our favorite activity in the entire world.
Oh, geez, guys, is that
No,
time
we get
already?
to
Pick a pay-per-view.
Again, huh?
Oh, yeah. We got the Rumble, so we'll have some interesting picks on that one.
Who was the leader? I've lost
I
track.
am.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I won the last one.
All right.
Yeah, you're the king of all
The
you
spring
survey.
of
That's
Fluffy.
right. So, and then obviously tune in on Monday. We'll have a topic show. We'll figure
That's
that
right. You went
out.
undefeated.
We'll figure that out. Yeah,
The
that was
road to
perfect.
WrestleMania.
Well, again,
Can you believe we were just talking about this already?
I know.
we're on the
I know.
right now. We're not on the road yet. The road's not to
Well,
run.
it's
road.
road.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Around the
We're
corner.
on the cart path that leads
There
to the
you go.
road that goes to the WrestleMania.
Right, exactly.
we're getting
We still have a couple of
We're on
gates
the
to
on
go
ramp.
through.
Yeah, we got to pay the toll.
That's right.
Got to pay the toll of a bad SmackDown. But I digress. So make sure you tune in for that. And as always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slammed stiff.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.